Hello there everyone, so I imagine you've all seen the Saints Row gameplay. It's kind of everywhere at the moment in the community, and I want to throw this out there now. There is a lot being shown off, a lot of spoilers out there, so I'm going to be doing two videos. This is the non-spoiler one. This will not have any spoilers for the full story, game, or anything really. I'll be talking about what's been shown off and what's, not really going to ruin the game for you, and then I'll do a spoilered one where it actually has more in-depth details, cutscenes and whatnot about the game, and I'll kind of talk about both. So for this one, which will be my first one going up, welcome. So I've watched the IGN side of things, as I feel like it was the least spoiler filled, and if you are looking to watch some videos, I actually recommend IGN's videos, as much as they get a lot of flack. They don't really show off too much, which is always good. So from what I've seen, it looks very good, and he explained a few things that I found very interesting. So every reviewer out there, for anyone wondering, has gotten 4 hours to play the game. They could play the game for 4 hours total. That is how long. And what I'm going to say is, from what I have seen, it looks fantastic. I am very much on board. I think the gameplay looks really good, actually. And as much as I'm not going to mention them, the story elements look good too. That's all I'll say. What he said, and this is not really a spoiler, is it's actually got a decent amount of serious moments, and from what I've seen, it does. Again, I won't go into that. But what I found very interesting is he also said that he got to play 4 hours, obviously, but it felt like a prologue, which to me screams that the game's going to be decently long. I mean, if you're 4 hours into a game and it just feels like a lengthy prologue, that's a pretty good thing. Obviously, I don't know how many missions he got for or what pace he kind of did this, but I found that very, very interesting. What I'm going to say I observed is the tone looks a lot closer to 2 than I initially thought. Like, there are serious moments. Again, I'm not going to go into it, but Christ, when you get to see my next video, if you're going to watch that, you will see there are some seriously badass moments in this game that are fucking cool. I want to say that from the mission design, again I won't talk about it, it also looks very fun and unique. He said that a lot of the missions kind of consist of driving around, going to places and shooting people, which I find quite funny because that's kind of Saints Row, but from what I've seen, it also has quite a good variety of missions too. It's not really just one thing. You're not just going to places and clearing gang hideouts. It seems like there's genuinely quite a few things to go down. He spoke about the weapons having very cool, customization, and the Volition aren't underselling anything, which is great, or overselling anything. He says that, like, what they say is coming, and it's amazing. So that's always fantastic, it's always great to hear. He also did another video talking about really cool features. I actually recommend you watch that. That has no real spoilers, but it's very interesting. And overall, from what I've seen, I've got a very positive taste left in my mouth from the gameplay that I've seen. It looks genuinely really good. Control looks fluid. Driving looks especially good. I have noticed a few technical bugs. I'm not gonna lie. He showed them off too. There was a few little minor bug problems, but honestly, from what I've seen, they're minor bugs. It's not an AOM situation. He said he had an issue where he got locked to the title screen, and that was the worst thing that happened. Essentially, he just had to restart the game, which isn't fantastic, obviously. But to say the game's a month away without a one-day patch, it's not the worst news in the world. Yeah, the gameplay is looking fluid, it's looking nice, it's looking fun, which is most important. The tone is starting to shift more towards Saints Row 2 than I initially thought. I expected this to be 2 and 3 mixed, but more towards 3, but still have that healthy mix. But no, it appears to be bang in the middle from what I'm seeing. He said it has a lot of millennial and Gen Z humor, which I know that's going to rustle a few people, but quite honestly, it's not the worst thing in the world. He said not all the jokes hit for him, but the ones that did, which is great news. It means they might have stuff for everyone, you know what I mean? It might interest everyone with their jokes, and it might apply to all, which is what I feel has been going on. But overall, I'm leaving pretty positive. I think it's looking really good, and I have to say, the game's looking at a healthy state a month before release. A day one patch is going to be necessary, I feel. He said that there's frame dips, weird animations, and I've noticed a few things like the draw distance being quite far in. Like, this is something I brought up before. I don't like it when I can see cars pop in the distance as I'm driving. It's really last gen. Not even last gen, it's like pre-last gen. I mean, you didn't have this with GTA 5, at least in my experience. So, you know, it's not something I'm a big fan of, but I feel like they can handle it, and I feel like they'll be able to sort it. It's not the end of the world. But truthfully, that was me being fairly negative. The rest of it looked really good. I'm really excited. I watched this earlier and I was like, oh my god, I need Saints Row now, please. It looks so good. And it does, it looks fantastic. I could not be happier. I honest to God couldn't. Well, I could. There's a few bug fixes, but like overall, game-wise, I think I'm really going to enjoy this game. Mr. Saints Godzilla messaged me and he says, yo, have you seen the gameplay? And I messaged him back, bro, this game might become my favourite Saints Row. Like, I am so on board for what Volition have to offer here. It looks fucking amazing, and I know it's got a ton of hate going around it, so when everyone hears me go, it's going to be his favourite Saints Row, they're going to go, oh, but that means it's better than Saints Row 2, and I'm not saying that, okay, I said favourite, not the best, but honestly, it's looking good, and it's looking right where someone like me as a Saints Row fan should be hoping. I know not everyone agrees with my opinions on games, and especially Saints Row, and that's fine. But for me, it seems like it's going right down the direction I would want it to at this point. I mean, initially, obviously, the characters are a big shock value. I wanted a more gangster game, blah, blah, blah. We've all heard it before. But from that point onwards, the game seems to have headed in the right direction in my mind. And I'm excited. I can't lie, I'm very excited. It's looking great. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. My spoiler review is going to have a lot more information, so make sure you listen there for that one. But yeah, that's all I have to say this time. Thank you all for watching. I hope you did enjoy. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, all the boring stuff, and I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.